So, GT7's May 1.15 update is here, and with it, of course, we have finally the confirmation of what that mysterious third car was. We were pretty much all wrong as far as specifics, unless, of course, your specific prediction was a Suzuki Vision Gran Turismo car, because, of course, that is what this is. Very cool new addition, actually, and if there were any Vision GTs which could win people over who are not a fan of those, this actually could be one of them, because it's potentially quite a useful car in career mode, if you will, within the game, because, as we'll get into further in, of course, their own reviews, these three cars are potentially pretty useful. Now, the pricing on these, for those who are wondering, is 3 million credits for the Toyota GR010 Hybrid. I have not bought that one yet. I need to get some cash, and incidentally, that is unfortunately one of the aspects of this update which many of us will not be as happy with, and that is that they have fixed, seemingly completely for the moment, the transmission glitch within the game, which of course we could almost guarantee they were going to do anyway, so now the Tomahawk cash cow method does not work. Or at least it doesn't work with a Tomahawk, because obviously the race still works, it just now takes a bit longer. So for the moment, Le Mans is still the best way to earn cash, and of course we have some additional career mode events in the cafe, 3 new cafe books, which is nice to see. And we also have some bug fixes, some alterations to stuff like paint chips, to certain cars with a livery editor that were having a bit of a bugging issue, and you'll see some of those in the notes that I've included here in the video. Now, the other two vehicles are, of course, the Suzuki, which I already mentioned. That one is a very interesting concept, because it clearly combines what we already saw from the Suzuki GSX-R4 concept, which I'd actually forgotten was even in Gran Turismo, but was a brilliant car in GT6. One of the most OP online races, in fact, at I think it was like the 450 point level. This one clearly is an homage to that. For those who don't know, the GSX-R series is the Suzuki motorcycle range, and of course that bike, or that car I should say, was bike powered. This one, once again, is Hayabusa engined, so a pretty cool concept for a little Vision GT. The power is good, over 400 horses, it weighs less than a ton, and it has all-wheel drive. So put simply, it's quite a good little contender, and it's not that much higher than 600 points. So again, potentially very useful. I will be looking into using this one perhaps for the Le Mans Cash Cow event, because it could be a really good one. The other one, of course, is the Rampage Camaro. Very powerful car. You can, for those who are wondering, tune it even higher, around or even over, I believe, 900 horsepower. It's 300,000 credits in the case of that one, so not too expensive, which means that all in all, with, of course, the Suzuki being 1 million credits, as the Vision GTs always are, you're looking at, what, 4.3 million credits to buy all three vehicles. For those who are curious, who haven't booted up the game yet, no new circuit. Pretty disappointing so far that the only new quote-unquote circuit that we've had was just a change of variation, which is barely even noticeable on Spa, so we're still holding our breath, unfortunately, for what that will be. But for now, the three cars are a pretty interesting little selection, an interesting trio, certainly eclectic, and of course you can never please everyone when it comes to the cars added. Myself included, of course, there are plenty of cars I would love to see, but these are three potentially very useful ones. I'm going to hold off on talking about the Toyota because, of course, I haven't bought it yet, but that one will get its own review as well. Other additions in this update include some additional scapes, of course adding to the thousands of scapes which are already in the game, one of which I even used for the thumbnail of the video, and ultimately I would say that the three vehicles are pretty useful. I haven't actually used any of them to complete an event yet, I've mostly just driven them on their own, and I'm yet to play those additional cafe menu events as well, but one of them is for Group 1s, one of them is for Vision GTs, and there are some interesting prizes. I believe a 6-star spin was one of them, and a Radical is another victory car, which is a very, very useful vehicle, in a similar way to the Suzuki, funnily enough, that lightweight track day kind of car. So all in all, it's a mixed bag. I think many people will be disappointed by this for a number of reasons. If, for example, you compare these updates so far to even GT Sport's very patchy update schedule, the earlier ones in that game were, for the most part, bigger, so the chance of this ramping up and becoming like 8, 9, 10 car updates is still potentially there. To be honest, I don't really see that happening. It doesn't feel like they're in a particular rush to do that, but of course I would love if they did do that. The main thing though is the lack of a circuit. I think a ton of people are going to be disappointed by that, myself included. It would have been nice to have a new track. Overall, it may not be enough to bring people who have gone away from the game back to it, but that's the basic information that you need to know. They've patched the cash cow method, added 3 interesting new cars with a total price of 4.3 million, no new circuits, a number of bug fixes, and of course, as I said, check out all those patch notes to get every little detail, and even some which I didn't linger on too much in the video. So ultimately that's it for my brief initial thoughts on 1.15 in GT7, and definitely stick around on the channel for more, including those individual reviews and maybe even some tuning over the next few days. But for now, as always, thanks for watching.